So today we're going to do a flexible endoscopy. So let me just show you what that is. So I have this little thing here, and it's got a little camera at the end, and I can turn a light on. This allows me to see in here, and I can control it up here. So it'll feel a little wiggly in your nose. So we're going to put a sheath on it so it's clean in your nose. But before I do that, can you plug one of your sides of your nose and sniff in? Good. And the other one? Great. Okay, so that one seems a little bit more clear, so we're going to go in through this side. So I'm just going to put this little sheath on so that it's nice and clean. All right, there we go. Good. And I'm also going to put a little bit of jelly on the end here so that it slides right nicely through your nose. So I'm going to use two different types of light. I'm just going to use a light like this, and then I'm also going to use a light that looks like that. Okay? So I'm going to start with just the steady light, but when I switch to the strobe light, I'm going to have you hold this microphone right against your neck.
Great.
Okay? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to check in your right nostril because that one seems the most open, and I'm going to see what's the easiest way to get towards the back of your nose. I'm going to angle in this way. Great. All right, and I'm just going to rest my hand on your nose here. Good. You see it's a little tight up there. So I'm going to come down a little bit. And we'll go along the floor of your nose here. Great.
Now we are looking at the velopharyngeal port, which connects the oral and nasal cavities. Notice how it can quickly and tightly close during stop consonants, like the k in cat.
Great. And do that again for me.
Kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat.
Perfect. So now just breathe through your nose.
Notice the port is wide open during breathing.
I'm just going to go down through your nasopharynx here.
And this is our very first view of the larynx. You can see the two vocal folds, which are sometimes going to be lost from view by the base of the tongue and the epiglottis. We bring the vocal folds together when we phonate, like this. But in order to see that vibration, we need to change from a regular light source to a light that strobes our view.
And I'm going to switch to the stroboscopy. Great. And now go ahead and do an E. Perfect. And relax. Can I have you just tilt look towards me just a little bit? Great. All right, go ahead, do an E again.
Even though my vocal folds are vibrating at several hundred times a second, the strobe tricks our eyes into seeing the vibration more slowly.
All right, now I'm going to have you do an E from low to high. So E.
Watch how the supraglottal area squeezes when we go from low to high.
Perfect.
Now this is a breathy voice. Notice the gap at the top of the vocal folds.
Excellent. Good.
This is a task that makes the vocal folds quickly come together, or adduct, and apart, or abduct.
E, 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 E.
During quiet breathing, you can see here the trachea below the level of the vocal folds, which leads down to the lungs. These take the shape of a long round arch with its path high above. And here we have the larynx during running speech, which really emphasizes how dynamic this speech motor control system is. This is one of the strengths of using this nasal endoscopy technique for evaluation. It allows us to see the function of the larynx during real vocal tasks.
Throughout the centuries, people have
We use this type of evaluation to understand both the structure, like the makeup of the vocal folds and whether there is disease on them, and the function of the larynx. We can even use this technology in student and professional singers while they perform, which gives us important information about how they are using the system during their most demanding use. In our research, we can make detailed measurements offline of the movements of the different structures of the larynx, which gives us insight into how they are controlled in typical speakers, as well as individuals with neurological vocal impairments, like Parkinson's disease, vocal tremor, and spasmodic dysphonia. When paired with expert listener perception, physiological measurements of the airflow and pressure used to create voice, and acoustic measurements, nasal endoscopy allows for functional evaluation of vocal function.
And the width